Hello and welcome one and all, this is Old School Gamer 1971 here, Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. If you would, please like and comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Support the channel and help it grow. Today's thoughts is on The Outer Worlds. I've been playing this game for around 3 hours and this is what I think. The Outer Worlds, developed by Obsidian Entertainment, is an adventure game that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. So this is what happens when you take the team who made Fallout New Vegas and add some of the team that made the original Fallout. This is a dream team, and as such we are destined for one of two outcomes. One, it is going to be great, or it will be an absolute dumpster fire. For example of the latter, look at Fallout 76. This is all Obsidian's own thing and may borrow a little from their previous work. Obsidian Entertainment Inc. is based in Irvine, California. They were founded in 2003. The developer was formed by former Black Isle Studios employees. Whilst they've created their own IPs, they have also worked on several sequels based on licenses. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 The Sith Lords, Neverwinter Nights 2, Fallout New Vegas and Dungeon Siege 3. In 2018 it was announced that the studio had been acquired by Microsoft and had become part of Microsoft Studios. This, The Outer Worlds and Wasteland 4 will most likely be the last outings for the PlayStation brand. Our story is set in an alternate future. Things changed in 1901 when the US President William McKinley is not assassinated by Leon at the Pan American Exposition, so Theodore Roosevelt never succeeded him. This allowed large business trusts to dominate society long enough into the future to allow megacorporations to colonize and transform in alien worlds. A colony ship bound for the furthest corners of the galaxy, it was travelling at faster than light when it strays off course. The company decides not to recover the ship. You awaken aboard from cryosleep to find that most of the passengers are still asleep. After character design, you head to the nearest colony to investigate the corporation's true intentions. With several factions and different ways to play, you will find your own journey and it will differ from mine. So is this The Outer Worlds, or is this the ingrowing toenail? The graphics are stunning. This really is something else. The last time I was so totally blown away like this was Red Dead Redemption 2. It is fantastic across the board. Nothing looks subpar, but it all did come at a kind of cost. The maps, whilst big, the game is not open world, and entering buildings will bring up a loading screen. Do not get me wrong, this is a fantastic game and is one of the best looking games around. Just don't go buying it believing it to be an open world. The characters look so damn good, and whilst not photorealistic, does have a real charm to it. This allows characters to show well character. You would have thought that this would be RPG 101. What I like here is it is all so well put together. They add to the story. I don't want it to be just a bash on Fallout 76, but it is kind of hard when a game like this comes along and it kind of fixes all the wrongs. It makes the wrongs righted. Where this game really hits you is the variety of enemies. Also, the look of the enemies really hits you between the eyes. They look fantastic, and certainly when compared to many RPGs, look both bright and colourful. One of the advantages of setting it in space is it gives you a little more freedom with the colour palette. I don't see why this really is, but most fantasy RPGs are kind of got a drab palette nowadays.
You've landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship.
Now I know for some this will be a bit of a downer, but our protagonist has no voiceover. For me, this allows you to put your own stamp on it, imprint your personality onto the protagonist. The support cast, however, is fantastic. They are well chosen and definitely add to the overall atmosphere. They portray the story very well, and with the script and many different ways of playing, you may very well be planning your second, third and fourth playthrough during your first. Nowadays, in AAA terms, ambient sound and mood music are the norm. So I guess it becomes more about how they come together to make the atmosphere, if they complement one another. Fortunately, they have done a great job and made this a memorable play, with many routes to take and some options dependent on your stats from the very get-go. There is much replayability. For me, those guns in a shooter should be meaty as hell. Your guns should sound like they would take your limbs off just firing them, yet alone being hit by them. Here they do a great job. Even the lowest guns sound dangerous. With the alien tech, this all sounds great and certainly was one of the reasons that I loved Fallout 4 so much. This again is another reason that this game is my kind of game.
Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians.
Whether you want to be a tank, brawler, assassin, heavy weapons, hacker, or the luckiest man alive, you can be any of these. Unlike Fallout 4, you can only be one of these per playthrough, or a boring balanced player that excels at nothing. I suggest use the one that suits your style of play the best. So for me, it's assassin, and that's where my character is at. So a bit of dexterity and strength to carry all of my guns. So, right from the get-go, this does feel like Fallout in space. Honestly, this is the Fallout game we should have gotten after Fallout New Vegas. Now, Fallout 4 for me was the first Fallout game I saw through to the very end. But this has more in common with New Vegas. It is about the character you are going to become. You must choose your path and your skills wisely. By amazing design, you can complete this game whatever path you choose. Some take longer than others, however. VATS is back under a different name, TTD, Tactical Time Dilation, and it does make you aim this time. This is a lot more involving and gives you a bigger sense of satisfaction for every headshot. Also worthy of note is having up to 2 companions at a time. Your choices does depend on the conversations you will end up having. This might seem small things, and yet at the same time seems a lot bigger the more you play. In one area there is a difference, is how long it will take you to complete the game, around 20 to 40 hours. This is because the game expects you to make multiple playthroughs, so each playthrough can be totally unique. This is all good here, and it is refreshing to see a developer take a chance. How many playthroughs I will play through, only time will tell, but it's a thumbs up from me for originality. By now there is a common theme to this review, is how it has out-Fallouted Fallout, and if so, do we really need it? If they had played this safe and not advanced the game itself, the answer would have been no. Except that this is like a sequel to New Vegas. It advances what made that game great. Considering that was many people's criticism of Fallout 4, and Fallout 76 seems to have more missing than present, I think that this generation required this game. I was invested in the story very quickly, even without the voiceover of the protagonist. It had little or no effect on the atmosphere, for me at least, which I think is testament to the storytelling on show here. Because of the different endings and different ways to play, I can see 4 or more playthroughs, so I reckon around 100 plus hours for me at least. If there is any DLC, that figure will go a hell of a lot higher. Right, spoilers for the rest of the review. You're damn right it has atmosphere. I feel the team that made this game doesn't just love the game. This does have everything missing from Fallout 76 and has you making choices for your character, as opposed to just grinding till you're OP and you can just destroy the rest of the game. There is a kind of timer to this game, and I do think here the design is so different to anything else out there. Everyone should own this game. A Fallout fan will find this game that is what they've been looking for. It looks, feels and is Fallout. Its atmosphere holds you there, and that is why this is the game you've been waiting for. For this generation, it doesn't matter if you own Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Metro Exodus or Borderlands 3, because this game is different to all of those games and certainly well worthy of your time. Is this what Fallout 4 / Fallout 76 should have been? Yes and no. I put easily over 600 hours into Fallout 4 and too much is still missing from Fallout 76 for me to invest my time. But this has chosen to take the New Vegas approach by having you choose your skills to play the game your way. All in all, this is a great game and releases on the same day as Medieval, and one I know I am destined to sink many hours into. Will the sales of Outer Worlds going to ultimately matter to whether or not as PlayStation 4 owners get a sequel? How much I wish that was so. I do not see it. Microsoft really got a fantastic developer in Obsidian, and certainly this game shows you the quality of what is to come from Obsidian. But we at least have this game to play in the meantime. Maybe it could be a timed exclusive, but I think it would change minds if this sells really well on PlayStation. As this game is part of Game Pass, it might change some minds if it blows up and makes a lot of money. So the Outer Worlds, this most definitely is. If you are hearing this, you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you very much for your support. Give it a thumbs up and comment if you enjoyed the video. Please share as it helps the channel grow and improve. Enjoy your day one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.